This is a short tutorial that will take you through the steps to create a campaign that will display offers and messages on the discount locator application that uh, has been downloaded by the consumers on the mobile devices. This is a discount locator homepage where basically you can have a look at the description of our mobile device application, that's what it looks like, and the consumer will be able to receive offers uh, in the neighborhood or around his area of presence. So basically, he will be able to see the shops around him that have offers, and he can go further and select the shop he wants to uh, visit or he has an interest in. He can then see all the offers that are available in that shop, and furthermore, he can see a detailed description of the offer with a link and a picture. Uh, this part of our platform, the mobile device or the consumer side, is called Discount Locator. And in order to create the message that will be like this one, that will be displayed on the mobile device, you will need to use uh, the advertiser side of our platform, which is called location driven advertising. Uh, the web address is www.location-driven-advertising.com. Once you get on our website, you'll have more information available about our platform, a description of the concept, further user guide, prices, coverage, the terms and conditions to use our platform, the copyright, and support contact numbers. To create an application, you have to log in through normal steps as you would log into any other application. If you don't have an account set up, you will need to set up one. There are just three easy steps to create an account, very easy to follow. Uh, so once you have created the account, then you can log and you have received approval from our system administrator, which happens very quickly. You will be able to log into the location driven advertising application that will allow you to create messages for consumers for discount locator. Um, Also here in the first screen, you can actually select the language. We are launching for UK and Romania, so we have the site translated in two languages. Um, and once you have selected the language, then you log in. Once you have logged in, the first screen is a notifications history screen, which shows all the messages between you, the advertiser, and us, the location driven advertising platform. Uh, that will basically inform you on the changes in the status of the campaigns. So, when it's active, when it's been approved, and so on. Furthermore, on this page, you also have at the bottom links to the information that's already available on our location-driven-advertising.com site. Further information for usage, prices, coverage, terms and conditions, and so on. Without further ado, let's go into campaigns. For that, you click on My Campaigns button. Uh, you will see a list of all the campaigns you've been working on, the status of these campaigns, yeah, and also details about uh, on how to identify that campaign um, and especially you'll find the campaign ID, which is used on all the communications and documents for identification of a campaign. Furthermore, there is another button which shows what actions you can have regarding the campaign you are selecting. So you can download the invoice, you can stop the campaign by suspending it. Once you click this button, it will be suspended, stopped. The broadcasting will be stopped inside 1 hour. You can clone the campaign that's actually copying the campaign so you can reuse the information to save you time. You can just view the campaign, or you can have live reports on the campaign uh, where you can see the real live, in real time, the number of consumers that have actually seen and received your message. To create a campaign, you click on the Create New Campaign button, and that will take you through the wizard to create a campaign. There are three big steps. The first one is defining the campaign. The second one is to define the locations, the places where you want your message to be broadcasted. And the third one is a timing, the hours, the days when you want your offer to be broadcasted. The first step, defining the campaign, and this is where we are now, has two sections. One for the advertiser, for you to identify your campaign, and the second part of the screen is actually the message that the consumer will receive from you. On the top, you'll always have the campaign dashboard that will show you the summary, the value, the number of hours, the number of locations you have selected. Please bear in mind that the value of your campaign is uh, the way the your message will be displayed on the consumer device. Uh, in fact, the order that the message will be displayed, because there are going to be more messages in one location, and according to the value of the total campaign, that will decide also the order in which the messages are displayed on the consumer device. Let's build a demo campaign. Let's uh, presume that we want to do a campaign for candles that I have them present in the Tesco and the Sainsbury's in let's say in the Reading and Dorset area in UK. So let's say that I want this message to be broadcasted till the end of March in the counties of Reading and Windsor of Maidenhead in UK. I'm just selecting those as an example. You can select all counties of England, or you can select any part of the geography that it's set up at this moment in the system. So let's call this demo candles. And here in the description I can have more wording for me to identify this campaign, let's say in March. The next step is to select the start date. It could be today or any other day in the future. I'm going to select today's date. And then the end date, the period of time where I want my campaign to run. I can select to end this month or any other date in the future. I could go as far as I want, but as I said, for this example, I'm just going to select to run this candles campaign to the end of March. The next thing I have to select is a product category. This is important because this selection will be reflected in the consumer device, because the consumer has uh, the option to select what product categories he wants to receive offers for. I'm going to select for this one, let's call it home care and home and garden, and that's it. So this is a type of uh, product category that I have selected, and this is defining my own information, the advertiser information for this campaign. Now I'm going to move to the next screen, which is to the right here, where I'm going to define the message the consumer will receive. So what I'm doing here, the message will be reflected on the consumer device through our application Discount Locator. It's a multiple language application. I'm going to have to select languages because the consumer will receive the message in the language that it's set up on his phone. Okay? So if a Spaniard in England sets up his phone in Spanish, we have to create a message in Spanish for him to receive the message. Otherwise, the majority will have English set up on their phone, of course. So we're going to start with this one. So we're going to say uh, candles 20% off. I'm going to put some wording from Wikipedia, because the body of the message can contain up to 499 characters, which is more than enough for you to be creative. You are entirely responsible for the message and the content of that message. I'm just going to select something from Wikipedia to make it easier. Put it in there. Okay, so this is the body of the message. The next, I can select a link that can actually take the consumer to a website, a further detailed description of the product, a barcode, or a voucher. Make sure that when you create the message, you are following the message rules that are described in our terms and conditions that you have agreed on when you have created an account. For the purpose of this example, I'm going to put a Wikipedia link. Make sure you delete the default, which takes to our Discount Locator website. So I'm just going to use this link from Wikipedia. Just going to put it in there. There you go. And the last part of the message, but not the last but not the least, is to put a picture in there. And I'm going to put my candles picture. I can, crop and position my picture. I'm just going to use this bit, and I'm just going to say done. So now I've set up my message in English. I have the link set up and the picture set up, and I save it. Okay, I want to do also the same message. I want to do it in Spanish. Let's presume that I have in the area a Spanish speaking consumer population, just for the purpose of this tutorial. So I'm going to put the message in the Spanish language. I'm going to use Wikipedia, the Spanish Wikipedia, to do that, and Google Translate. So, okay, that basically says 25% of my candles. I'm going to put the text that I want in there. Okay, and I'm going to put the same link. Make sure that you delete the default. There you go. And I can put a different picture if I want to, but I haven't got another one. So I'm just going to use the same. And I'm going to save it. So that concludes the first part of creating the campaign, which is defining the campaign, the name, and also the message. As you can see, I can edit the text or I can delete it. Okay, so these are the two messages that are going to be broadcasted in the locations that I'm going to select in the next step. So the next step is to select the place where I want my messages to be broadcasted. And I said I'm going to select for UK, I'm going to select for England, and I said I'm going to select, let's say, Reading area and Windsor and Maidenhead County, because this is where I have my product. Okay, ignore this one. And I'm going to select in the general retail where I have my product, which are under food and retail. And I said I'm going to select for Sainsbury and Tesco. So I'm going to select all the types of Sainsbury because, you know, they have more than one type. They have Sainsbury local as well and Tesco. And so, and sorry, two more. Okay, so that will select the the shop that I'm interested in the two counties in UK. Of course, I can select the whole England if I want to. That's not a problem. Right, I've selected the location. So as you can see, the dashboard has changed in a brownish color. That means it needs to be updated. So to update, I click on this button, and it tells me now when it's gone black, it's been updated, and it shows me that I have selected 15 locations. Okay, and we can see the areas. Okay, so um, here I can actually visualize on the map where these locations are. I can do more than that. I can actually go, let's say, I want to actually see this place. So I have selected the shop. You can see it's been highlighted on my map. I can zoom in. What I can see here now is the shop and the broadcasting area. So around this shop for 250 meters radius, the consumer that have our application downloaded, they can see my offer. So not just in the shop, but also around it. Furthermore, I can go and actually see the place. So there you go. This is Tesco Express on Bath Road in Maidenhead, and around this point here, my message will be broadcasted. Okay, and that's a message up there. So I have decided on the place where I want to broadcast my offer. That takes me, so this was the second step, and it takes me now to the last and third step, which is defining the time period where I want this message to be broadcasted in these locations. So this is the start date and the end date of my campaign. And as you can see, I can select individual hours, or I can select, let's say, the whole hour 10 for all this period, or I can select premium times, premium hours. And as you can see, they're normally the busy hour on the shop, in the shop. So again, you see I have selected hours, therefore my campaign dashboard has changed the color to brownish red. That means it needs updating. Clicking on the update button, I'll get an update summary of what my campaign is going to look like. So you can see that I have selected 15 locations and 180 hours, 180. Altogether, it's actually 2,700 hours. I can cherry pick. Let's say I don't want this hour. It's too early, so I don't want it. So I deselect those. I consider 7 o'clock, again, still too early. I can deselect that as well. And also, I don't want it so late. I don't want it at 11. There you go. Update my dashboard. And now I have 150 hours and 15 locations. And this is the price, the value of my campaign. And according to the value, the higher the value, the better position there will be on the consumer device when they select to see the offers in those locations. So this is the last step. I'm done. I've finished. So I'm pressing next. And here I have the option, if I want to work more on my campaign, if I haven't decided, let's say, on the time, or I need further approval, I can put it in draft mode. That means it doesn't go anywhere. Or I can initiate the campaign, and that means it will go for approval to our location-driven advertising administrator, because we have to verify that your message is compliant with the rules. So I select initiate, and that means I will be informed, and uh, as soon as the administrator of location driven advertising has approved my campaign. That will happen very quickly, in less than 30 minutes, maximum to 1 hour. So this is the status right now. I can't modify, but I can have a look at it, or I can clone the campaign. Once it's been approved, it's going to go to active and then broadcasting, and I will be able to pull out reports to see what my campaign is doing, to see how many consumers have actually received my message. And this is it. Thank you very much. For further information, look at our website, or you can send us in an email, um, that and that information you can find it in our contact section. Thank you again, and please be a partner